Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video we are here in Matanzas. Now Matanzas is a little bit different than Havana. The buildings are even a little bit older and a little bit more hurt. And it's not as trafficked by as many tourists. Most tourists either go to Havana or they go to Varadero. Matanzas kind of gets left out. Let's enjoy it a little bit, let's see what's up.
No quiero nada, no quiero nada. Oye, que la botella me llama.
Te extraño, estoy solo. Sin ti yo no quiero nada.
Mi consuelo se me escapa. En el fondo de otra copa, mi negra. Ay.
Te extraño, estoy solo. Sin ti yo no quiero nada.
Me dice que soy vago y eso lo hago por no poder aguantar.
Not gonna lie, Matanzas is a little bit rougher than I expected. A little bit rough. So this is what happens when people have to persevere and get on with what they have. Matanzas. Based on what I'm seeing, there seems to be more of a collective effort to take care of inside the homes as opposed to the exterior.
As indicated by the name, this city has a wild origin story.
Matanzas translates to massacres in Spanish. A little bit less than 400 years ago, during the Conquistador era, actually it might have been a little bit more than 400 years, but during the Conquistador era, there were some fishermen that were taken captive by Spanish conquistadors. And they essentially demanded that the fishermen take them across this river in order to raid a village. Instead of complying with the Spanish, the fishermen tipped the boats, and the Spanish with their heavy armor went underneath the water, drowning. So here in Matanzas, there's actually a community project that's dedicated to preserving music and culture. It's called Callejón de las Tres Tradicionales. Unfortunately, it seems like I came here on the wrong day. It seems like music was actually last night. Pardon me, I didn't do my research. Although last night I was having a good time in Havana, but that's not your fault.
If you're paying attention, this little alleyway teaches you so much about the history of Matanzas. The Spanish Empire had a simple playbook for Caribbean areas it conquered. Number 1, conduct war and destabilize existing native tribes. Extract gold and then enslave native populations. And once the native population was decimated, export and enslave Africans for generations.
Culturally, Puerto Rico and Cuba actually share quite a bit in common. Both islands were the last remaining colonies for the Spanish here in the Caribbean, with Puerto Rico being on the far east end and Cuba being on the far west end in the Caribbean. It was referred to as two wings of the same bird. Cuba experienced direct colonialism from Spain as well as slavery, or having slavery, until very late into the 1800s. This statue actually depicts Jose Marti as a founding father working towards getting rid of Spanish colonialism. Those are the changes that you see the woman breaking right now.
Of course, Spanish colonialism was replaced with American imperialism.
Esta vibración, este sonido calentón. Te vas a mover como si estuvieras en un maratón. Coqui Calavera, campeón, jueguetón, vibración, colaboración, fuego la canción.
Llegó vibración,
¿Cómo no llegamos con lo gordo?
llegó vibración.
Pregúntale al bailador.
They want the U.S. embargo to end. I think a lot of people want the U.S. embargo to end.
Supply chain issues are endemic to Cuba. The American consumer got a taste of that during the pandemic, and we were all miserable.
Although the food here in Cuba tends to be rather bad, the vegetables, the fruits are amazing, top notch. I think they're actually organic and by necessity because they don't have the ability to buy the pesticides. But that's the case here.
traí begitu.
Due to the composition of the food as well as the water, your boy's stomach is jacked up. I'm surviving off of anti-diarrhea medication right now, but this is dedication. I keep it rolling for you guys. Even though Cuba is no longer a socialist, purely socialist country, privatization is still somewhat less in these outer areas. And here I'm about to go into a government restaurant. Let's get it. Whenever you step into these restaurants, you get a good idea of what's available in the markets here. And I tell you, it ain't much. Right now, something that they have a lot of is ham. You know what? The waitress didn't even know what this was. We're gonna call this the Cuban nuclear missile drink, right? This is what water would look like if the Cuban Missile Crisis went bad, like this. All right, let's get it. You know, usually I'm pretty good at telling you guys, you know, what it is that I'm drinking or eating. I have no idea what this is. It's like a cross between pina colada and water. Yeah? So let me show you guys my socialist meal real quick. All hitting for the low price of 20 pesos. So I just did the math, and this is hitting on the informal market for about 11 cents, this meal right here. Socialism is not bad. Well, if you're a tourist and you have the money and the privilege to say it. Yeah.
Sin ti, solo sin ti. Vuelve, 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 vuelve. Vuelve ya a mí. Sin ti. Yo estoy solo. Oye. Solo.
You know, sometimes people ask me, Keenan, aren't you afraid of walking around certain places by yourself? And what I say in response is, sometimes, right? We just gotta use precaution. It's starting to look pretty desolate. Super desolate.
This train station in Matanzas is the eastern terminus of the Hershey Electrified Line, the only surviving electric line left in Cuba. And now you have some cows grazing on the right of way.
So you guys may have actually just only heard the sound, but a dog tried to run up on me. And I had my tripod in the other hand, so if he was about it, he's gonna have to catch it. But I don't condone violence against animals or people. But he was trying me. But he stopped 6 feet away. He knew what time it was.
Repica, doctor. Repingui. ¿Cómo no? Llegó Vibrazón. Le presento Vibrazón. Llegó Vibrazón.
Vibrazón y yours truly, Deuce Eclipse, Mr. Coqui Calavera de Bandata.
Adiós. Llegó Vibrazón.
So right here you have some lesser known rums that are here from Cuba.
The drink, commonly known as a Cuba Libre, costs under 50 cents here.
I mean, you can't even taste the rum, which makes it quite dangerous. Good job.
When I was in high school, wearing a t-shirt with Che Guevara's face on it was trendy, but most people knew nothing about Che.
A lot of common folk don't actually know that Che Guevara was not Cuban. He was an Argentine freedom fighter. Unfortunately, he went to go stir up revolution in Bolivia, and he didn't exactly get support from the Cuban government, and he kind of got left to get catch by the Bolivians or by the CIA, and unfortunately he was executed.
Let me tell you about Arsenio Rodriguez.
One of the founding fathers of Cuban Son actually is from Matanzas, and he was in his youth, maybe he was either 5 or 7 years old, kicked by either a donkey or a horse in the head, and he lost his sight. Despite that, he was able to produce some of the most revolutionary music as it relates to son.
Tell me, when was the last time you got an ice cream cone for under 10 cents? Simple and flavorful, this ice cream is everything right now.
Communist ice cream, not bad.
And in a second, the local communist boss is about to pull up on us. Here we go.
Everyone, I want you to meet my guy Ivan, okay? He says Matanzas is a great city and you all need to visit. He doesn't have a tourist infrastructure yet that's really strong, but he wants you to visit. That's it.
I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.
Ah